What's up, Notjust developers? Welcome back to the day 4 of our 5-day challenge. And today we are starting working at the backend side of our courier application. So if you're new here, we are running a 5 days intensive challenge where we will build free applications for the Uber Eats clone. First of all, we have built the user side application already. Now we are finishing with the driver side application, and tomorrow we will do the restaurant dashboard. So everything is done with React Native and AWS Amplify, and this is a great opportunity for you to get some experience with this, improve your skills with building React Native applications, both for front end and back end with AWS Amplify. So let's have a quick look at the recap of what we have done in the previous days, what we're going to do today, and what's going to happen next. So in the first day, we have built the user application UI with React Native, and there, we went crazy and we implemented a lot of screens for that application. And this is by far the biggest and most complex project that we have done on YouTube. So in the day 2, we took that React Native application and we created the backend using the AWS Amplify. We have set up authentication. We have modeled the whole database with all the data that we will need throughout this series. And believe me, it's a lot of tables and a lot of data, but we have done that in day 2. In day 3, yesterday, we have built the driver side application, again with React Native. And there we worked a lot with maps, with directions, bottom sheet and other interesting features. If you haven't followed along so far, I highly recommend you to start from the beginning and try to implement it yourself, because in that way you are gonna learn in just 5 days how to build a Uber Eats application, and that will give you a lot of experience on building mobile applications from start to end. So moving on to today's build. Today we are connecting the courier application that we have built yesterday to the same Amplify backend that we have created for our user application, and we connect to the same backend because we depend on the same data. An order that a user will place in his application must be shown on the driver side application to be picked up and delivered. So we need to connect to the same application, and the interesting part will be to synchronize the data in real time between different applications like user and driver, in order for, let's say, the user to always be up to date of what's the status of his order, where it is on the map at the moment. And yeah, this is exciting, and let's see how to do that in today's live stream. Tomorrow, we're going to do the restaurant dashboard with React.js and AWS Amplify. And that's also something very exciting, because a lot of people are asking how to build a dashboard for your application, from where you'll be able to manage the data in your application. And tomorrow is going to be a good opportunity to do just that. I'm going to repeat, if you already follow the videos, you already know about the Uber Eats asset bundle, the folder with everything that you will need during while following along and building it yourself. By the way, if you already downloaded it, download it one more time, because every day I'm updating it with new information, with presentations every day. And also I include the source code of our previous days there, so that you can have a look at what we build and maybe start from there and implement today's project, today's features. So I think we can get started with day 4. But before that, for everyone who is new on this channel, hi, welcome here. My name is Vadim, and on this channel, my goal is to share my knowledge and experience with developers and help them upskill and get to the next level as a mobile developer. Today, I'm joined by Lucas. I think you all already know Lucas. Thank you very much for joining today as well. And yeah, how are you today?
Hello, guys. Hello. Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready to spectate and see what's going to, I don't know, what we'll have at the end of the stream from our application.
Yeah, that's also interesting for me as well. But yeah, we're gonna have a huge project that is gonna work, And yeah, like with a couple of changes, I think you can start a business out of it. But yeah. All right, so I think we can get started. Before we get into all of that things that we have to do today, let's have a quick look at what we managed to build yesterday. So here we have our application running on Android. And we first of all see the map, and also right away on the map we see a couple of orders that are there. So the more details about the orders is in this bottom sheet navigator that is not working at the moment. So this is the first thing that we are going to do, is to debug why it's not working on Android, but is working on iOS. And I think we have an idea why is that happening, right?
We have two ideas I found. Like
the problem is that the bottom sheet navigator that we have developed yesterday is actually working properly, because if I give here the index 2 or 1,
index 1, there's no
we see all the orders here. The problem is with the detecting gestures of a user swiping down or swiping up. And to fix that, or at least to try to fix that, I think we're going to go to app.js, and at the top of a file, we need to import the gesture handler. Import
yes,
React Native gesture handler. And now it's still not working, but do we have to wrap our
try to
application?
reload. I think we need to wrap it with I've sent you the issue that I found, and actually there is quite a well, not quite a few, but a few problems with Android.
Okay.
Because React Native gesture handler requires a wrapper around the root view to function.
Okay.
So we need to import gesture handler root view, the one that I've sent you in the private chat. This one. So this is the fix. Most likely, because it has a lot of upvotes and the problem is the same as ours.
Okay, so before it was like this, but then it's like this. So it has a gesture handler root view.
Yep.
Then a bottom sheet model. Do we need bottom sheet model?
No,
provider?
so this bottom sheet model provider is most likely what we don't need here.
So we need to put this gesture handler root view.
Yeah.
Imported from.
Let me see.
Yeah, from okay.
Did you
So
find?
let's then go ahead and import something from the gesture handler here, and we're gonna import gesture handler root view. Root.
Yeah, I saw it already.
Here, and we simply have to put
wrap navigation.
Yeah, navigation here. This.
And let's hope for the best.
Yes, let's see. Come on.
I'm still trying to look for what might be the problem. So let me know.
Doesn't want to run, but I'm gonna stop it and start again. Hey everyone, how is it going? How is your progress in the challenge? Let me know in the live chat. Why you're opening here when I want you to open here. So let's close everything, run on device.
They're using bottom sheet model, so I'm not sure what's the difference between those two, but yeah. Because that's as well from this guy, bottom sheet, but he's using a different component that's not working.
I don't see anything, but I might give this style of flex one to this root view.
Oh yeah.
root view style flex 1 and oh, but why is it root? Okay, like this. Come on, don't let us down. We're nice with you at this moment.
Yeah, so that's why you always need to test on both iOS and Android after doing.
And yes, it's
Yes.
working. Let's go.
Good job, good job. Perfect. We figured out this problem. That's very nice. Now I can check the
Okay, yeah.
comments. Oh no, you should show what we've built yesterday. Yes.
Yeah, so continue our continuing what we have done yesterday. First of all, on the map, you're gonna see the orders, and if I'm gonna be able to zoom in, which I forgot how,
I
it's
think
very weird to zoom in with a
try
mouse.
to use Shift and then zoom. You should maybe work as well.
So here we see different orders on the map. And to see more details about them, we can open up this bottom sheet model. And from here, we see the restaurant that the order is for, the address of the restaurant, and also the delivery details about the user who ordered this. After this, you can press on this one. Then we are asked to give permission to the device location, which we should say allow here. And we see right away the direction from our side till the restaurant.
Till the restaurant and also user.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to oba. So here we have some orders there in dummy data that today we're gonna implement to fetch them from the backend. But it shows us that, yeah, first we have to go to the restaurant, and then it shows the direction to the end user, and also with information about the restaurant and end user. After you see this order, you didn't accept it yet. You just look at if you would like to take it, and you can go here and say accept order. After that, the map automatically zooms in. We are in a kind of a park here, and you will start driving there. For Android, I don't think we have this possibility to show how I actually move, or maybe we do. We'll check later. For example, here maybe we have location. No, settings. We'll see if it's possible, but on iOS we had this possibility to move this dot and see how everything, the route included, automatically recalculates. All of this information, like 51 minutes, 60 kilometers, this is not dummy data. This is actually calculated by the direction API from Google, and it will automatically update every 100 meters that you advanced on your route. So here you can see more details about the order. At the moment, the pickup order button is disabled because we are not close to, we are 60 kilometers from the restaurant. Once you get in the range of a restaurant, like 500 meters or 100 meter, this button will be enabled and you'll be able to say pickup order, and the map will switch to showing you direction to the user to deliver your order. Once you get to the user as well, like close to him, then you'll be able to say complete order. And after that, you're done. You can take the next one. So this is the application that we have. Lucas built it yesterday. That was an amazing stream, not gonna lie. And today, let's start to integrate it with the same backend that we have. So, but I'm gonna also delete this index one to start with the bottom sheet closed like this, and I can open it anytime. Perfect. So let's add this to the stream. The first step is gonna be to install our dependencies in our project for Amplify. And we are gonna do that by copy pasting this command. I'm just gonna try to find it in my presentation. Come on. Here it is. So let me copy it. And let's go in our application. Let's close everything. Let's open a terminal here. I can Go into a new terminal by pressing this plus sign, and here let's install the AWS Amplify React Native, AWS Amplify React Native, and other dependencies from Amplify. I'm not going to go into details like what are these all of these libraries, because we already have done that in the day 2 when we integrated the Amplify for our user side. Today we're kind of doing the same when it comes to setting up the project, implementing the authentication, but we're going to have some other tasks, new tasks like real-time data that we didn't see in the previous live stream. So what do we see here? Conflicting peer dependencies, React 18. Okay, the bottom sheet gives us some troubles.
What's the problem you weren't showing?
Oh, I was not showing. That's bad. But I was trying to install the dependencies, and it says that this bottom sheet library depends on React 18, but we have React Native community net info is not in the registry. Maybe I've made a mistake. React Native community net info. Let me grab a
Is
command.
it like that, React Native community, without any?
Yeah, maybe I have a mistake there.
So yeah, guys, hello to everyone. I didn't have time, and I see a lot of people are saying hello and thanking for this course. So we're very happy to be able to give you this course, and we're happy that you are enjoying it as well. And yep, hello again to everyone that I've
Yeah,
left.
I copied the library wrong.
And you're already starting to
There
blame
was
what?
like the name, yeah. So let's go ahead and here grab this command from here, from the documentation, and let's try again. Yeah, community was different here.
Yeah, yeah.
At the setting of Android, you will find auto routing. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Settings.
it should be location.
Oh, location, first one.
Yeah.
And I can provide routes here.
Yeah, and you should be. I
That's
don't
nice.
really see.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I googled it as well, and you viewers are saying the same.
Amazing. So we installed the dependencies. Now we can go ahead and check out our backend application that we have built in day 2. For that, let's go to our AWS account, go to AWS Amplify service here, choose Amplify service. And in the list of projects, you should see the Uber Eats application that we have built previous time. Let's go ahead and launch the studio. And what we have to do here, actually, we don't have to do a lot of things here. The only thing that we have to do is go in the local setup, do copy the pull command, and we are going to pull the same Amplify backend that we used in our user side application. We are simply going to pull it in our driver side application. And by doing that, we basically connect two applications to the same backend, and we're going to use the same data layer. So let's go in our project, paste amplify pull command. This will pull the backend in our project, and we will be able to connect to it. First of all, we need to authenticate our CLI. Let's say yes.
Yep, thank you, Brain Power Official and Captain Varun, for the tips on routing. I think we're definitely covered here, and if we're going to have problems with Android emulator, they will definitely help us with those coordinate setting, auto routing, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Happy, that's amazing. Still catching up from previous days and fitting in some work in between client meetings. Looking forward to finishing up this project soon. Enjoy today's stream. Thank you very much. I understand it's a lot of content, but as well, like it's valuable content. I hope at least that it's valuable and you are learning something new out of it.
Yeah.
What I want to discuss next, while we are waiting for Amplify to pull in our project, is actually not even this one, but it's the data modeling part. Let's think if we have everything that we need in order to implement today's features. So our driver side application actually will work with everything that we have already. For example, orders, it will work with restaurants, dishes, and so on. The only thing that we are missing is a way to store information about the drivers, store information about the driver location, and also connect an order with a driver. Because we want to know at the moment our order is connected with a user, it is connected with a restaurant. Basically, we know who ordered, where he ordered from, but we also need to know who is the driver. So we will need to somehow connect the order to the driver. So let's think about that, because there are a couple of ways to do that. So if we look at the data model here, we could store drivers in a complete new table. And I think I'm going to stop here and say that this is the best approach. Because one way would be to consider the driver as a user, because it also has like ID, name, maybe we don't have address, but current latitude, current longitude, and sub in order to connect him with the authentication module here. So yeah, no, it's a bad practice in this situation to consider the driver the same as the user, because they have completely separate needs, and the driver, is in a completely different place. So for that reason, let's go ahead and add a model for our driver, or courier. How do you want, Lucas? Courier.
Courier, yeah.
So for the courier, what do we have? Name, we will have is required. The sub, definitely, because we need to link the user who is authenticating in the courier application with a user in the database. I talked more in detail about this sub in the previous, in the day 2, but this is going to help us simply connect them together. What else? The latitude and longitude, we need that because we need to know where is he on the map to be able also to show this information to the user. What else? It would be interesting, you know what? I know that the direction API has a simple prop that specifies what route, what mode of transportation are you using. Are you on a bicycle or are you on a car or something like that?
Walking as well.
Maybe we can set this in the courier to know like what transportation method he's using and simply send it there.
Yep, yeah, you could do that. Then we could even improve the map view directions and according to that, show the specific
and it's
route.
not a lot. So transport or how transportation?
Transportation mode, it's called.
Transportation mode, but how to call it in database?
I think that makes sense. Because if you were, for example, that's for the viewers, if you're going, let's say, delivering packages with a bike, you shouldn't be able to go on highways.
Yeah,
so if you
or
select,
vice versa.
Or vice versa, yeah. So if you select that you're using a bike, it will, Google Map view directions will show you a route that's where you can go with bikes.
So for transportation mode, I'm going to create a new enum because I want only very specific values, transportation modes. Lucas, can you see what values does it accept that prop in order to send it directly there? So first of all, strongly thank you very much for your donation. You're going the long route. Check out AWS Tracking API. I'm using it in a project with very similar needs. That's interesting. I didn't hear about that. Is that some kind of a library?
I didn't heard about it either.
Transportation modes. What do we have there?
Right now checking.
So probably it's gonna be bike and
So
car.
yeah, it's driving. Should
Driving.
I send you to the private chat?
No, just tell me driving.
Then bicycling.
Oh my god.
That's what I told you.
But
I've sent you.
okay, I'm gonna wait for Lucas to send it. Okay, that's a hard word for me.
Walking. I'm not sure if we should include walking. Probably
Yeah,
no
let's
one
go
is.
driving and bicycling just to see how it works. Maybe later you can add others as well. So this transportation mode is one of those values. And yeah, that's it here for the information that we need about the courier. Now we need to go to our order. And the same way we did one-to-one relationship to a restaurant, the same way let's do a one-to-one relationship to the courier in order to know who is the courier that picked up this order. Right?
Yeah, and Juan, for now there won't be any ratings for the courier, but I think that you could like implement this as an extra feature because it shouldn't be too difficult after the whole like tutorial, and it's a very nice feature. After you finish your delivery, the user should see a table where it says like rate the driver. And I also had one, yeah, so hello, Vadim and Lucas. Thanks for this tutorial that you're giving us for free of charge. May the Lord continue to bless you. And yep, you're welcome. I hope and Vadim definitely does as well, hope that you're getting the most value out of it.
Yeah, thank you very much. So with that being said, let me just double check and press the save and deploy. So we have our courier with all his information. Important is latitude and longitude. We have the courier connected with a order, which is important with a one-to-one connection. And I think that's it. And we can press save and deploy. And while everything is deploying, we can go to the next feature in our application. Actually, the features that we started there. So we started pulling the changes. Where is it and how to move here? Okay. Okay, I wrote the amplify pull command, but I didn't follow the guide to choose the default editor and so on. I'm gonna pull right now, even if I know that the new changes that I added for the courier are not yet there. I'm just gonna pull it to set it up, and after it finishes deploying to cloud, I'm gonna pull it once again and continue from there, basically saving here some time. So when we ran this command, let's choose our editor, Visual Studio Code, JavaScript, React Native, source, the default one, build command, the default one, and that's it. Let's say yes here. Do you plan to modify the backend? We might need to do some changes. What is enums?
Yeah.
Enums is a set of values that a variable can take. So for example, instead of saying that, okay, now I don't have it. Instead of saying that transportation mode is a simple string, which can be any string out there, like driving, cycling, I don't know, dog, cat, and so on. I said that the transportation mode is one of that values that I provided in the enum. So I strictly typed that field to be either biking or bicycling or driving. And if you're gonna try to send there, I don't know, ABC, it's gonna fail, and it will say like this enum doesn't have that value. So basically, it's a set of values that you can type your variable, or in that case, the field. Okay. Oh, our application is still deploying here, but we fetched everything in the project. That means that we can go ahead and connect our React Native application with our Amplify backend. And to do that, I'm going to recap. When we did Amplify pool, Amplify generated a couple of things for us. One of them is this Amplify folder that contains all the code for our backend, like API, authentication types, and so on. In most of the cases, we don't have to go into this. I was not showing. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. In a lot of cases, we will not have to go into this Amplify folder. Another thing that it was generated for us is in the source, and here we have models. These models are the things, the database models that we declare. For example, the basket is here, basket dish is here, dish, and so on. Using these models, we will be able to query, fetch, create entries in our database. And the last and an important thing that was generated for us is this AWS exports file that contains information on how should Amplify connect to the backend, basically to what backend and to what services it should connect. So never added this file because it is auto-generated, but we need it, as I said, in order to connect to Amplify. So let's go ahead and open up.js and start setting up Amplify. For that, we will need to import Amplify from AWS Amplify. We need to import the AWS config from the source directory, then AWS exports, basically the file that I just showed you, this configuration file. And now having the Amplify here and AWS config, we can simply do amplify.configure AWS config. And with that, our Amplify is configured and ready for our next steps. Let's have a look. If we didn't
I think
break,
you'll have to restart everything. I think I remember this happened as well.
Yeah, it actually stopped. So let's start the development server again. Some dependencies. Okay. Let me grab it here and run on Android.
And voila,
Almost there.
Why it's stuck?
I don't know. We can refresh.
Yeah.
New update available. Come on. 99%.
Better than the previous time, 98.
I reloaded again. I cannot wait. Come on.
Well, that's the patience.
Finish.
Okay, so guys, are you following this tutorial, or maybe you asked that already? I didn't heard while looking for the problem with volume sheet.
We had some errors. Wait a second. What's happening? Because I don't see the error here.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Let's do open on Android.
Hello, Miguel.
And here we have it. Everything is working fine. That means that we configured Amplify correctly. The only thing that I'm going to show you here, I don't see the error, But in the previous project, sometimes Amplify, when you configure it like this, will throw you like an error in the logs. It will not crash your application, but it will say something like unhandled promise rejection, something with the region not being set. That error is coming from Amplify trying to configure analytics models, but we don't have it yet. So we have to manually disable analytics. For that, let's destructure AWS config inside an object because we want to override one thing from the Amplify config. And that thing that we want to override is called the analytics, and we should say disabled true.
So that's actually the problem that Leonardo Minar was referencing to today. And here's
Yep.
how you fix it if you're still here.
Yeah. We simply disable analytics module and we will not see that problem. We see something else. Can find. Okay, I was just typing and that's why. Okay, so our project is set up and ready for the next feature. And our next feature, we connected our native app with Amplify. We have done the data modeling. Let's have a look if it is finished by going to Amplify Studio. And we see at the top right corner, deployment successfully. Click for the next steps. What we have to do is to pull again the project. And in that situation, we will have access to the courier, the transportation modes, and the things that we just added there. Because right now, if we look into the models, if I search courier, there is nothing. But we will pull again our backend. Wait a bit for it to pull.
Zaid is asking, why are you not using your Mac? So he's still deciding what he likes more.
No, like if I do the live stream for the Mac, like I don't know, it doesn't support so many things. When I work normally on it, like it runs perfectly and I love it. But when I do the live streams, like it's a pain. Like, and you saw it in the first day. So that's why I switched to the Windows. It's a bit more powerful. And yeah, we successfully pulled everything here. Let's now go in our models index.ts and search for the courier. All right, we already see that the order has a field courier, and we see a lot of things about the courier and so on. That means that we have added correctly our new model in our database. Perfect. What's next, Lucas?
Authentication.
Authentication. And how much time do you give me to implement the authentication?
Well, now I know how fast it is. So
I'm not gonna impress you.
I think, yeah, the first time if you ask this, I would have said like I don't know, a few hours probably.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's implement authentication for the driver side application so that the drivers can authenticate first and after that like see the application. So for that, let's import a higher order component called with authenticator from AWS Amplify React Native. Now, the next step is instead of exporting the default the application here, let's remove this export default and export it a bit later. So export default application. And this is the same thing as we had before. But now we can put this application inside the with authenticator higher order component. And what it will do, it will simply add authentication and will render our application only if a user is authenticated. That's it. We have a fully functioning authentication system. And if I reload the application,
the longest thing in this whole creating authentication part was importing with authenticator. So yeah, that's how fast it is. I think you'll have to rerun your app again because you just pulled your changes.
Yeah, what's happening here? Operation not permitted on what? Okay. And I should update my Expo, but it's a minor version, so no worries there.
Oh, no,
It's a
no.
minor,
Naughty.
not from 3 to 5.
No, from 4 to 5. I
Okay.
think.
Use iOS simulator. I cannot use iOS simulator here on the Windows machine, but it works well on Android as well. But we are testing it both on iOS and Android. So one day we do iOS, one day Android. All right, so here we have it, our authentication screens. So what we can do here is we can go ahead in the sign up screen and create a new account here. So for the username, I'm gonna add my support at notjust.dev.
But that's username, not email.
For that, in this situation, we have set up our authentication to work with emails. And yeah, the label should be different, but it expects an email. So
Okay.
this, by the way, can be adjusted with some customization, but we are going here with easy route, like with authenticator, and we're gonna deal with it as it is. So for the number, just some random numbers, but email is important because after pressing sign up, we will receive an email, and in that email we will see a confirmation code to confirm your account. And here I have mine, 755387. Confirm. And now we are redirected to the sign in screen, and here we can go and sign in. Sign in. Boom, we are here. And after reloading everything, we will not be presented with authentication screens because it automatically remembers and caches that you are authenticated. It keeps track of all the tokens and all the hard parts of the authentication system, and we don't have to deal with that, which is amazing. So we are done with authentication, but we are not done with the whole authentication system yet, because right now, if we go to the Amplify Studio, I can go to the user management and I will see this account support at notjust.dev. But if I'm gonna go to the content, okay, come on.
I'll guess it's not going to be here.
It's not going to be here. And if we're going to look at the couriers are not in the database. And I explained this in the day 2, but I'm going to repeat shortly. Authentication and database, they are completely independent. And it's our job to connect them and to save a new courier whenever he creates his account in database. So that's what we have to do. Whenever a courier signs up the first time, we should see, are you already in the database or not? If not, we should just display for him a simple form where he can put all the details. And with the details, we can save him in the database. And the next time when he signs up, we'll see that he's already provided the details in the database, and we don't need to ask them again. So for that reason, let's go ahead and from the asset bundle that, actually, you know what? Actually from the asset bundle, we need to bring the authentication screen. But you know what? Where I'm gonna bring it from? I'm gonna bring it from the user side application because we have done the work already for the profile screen with a form where he will be able to put his details. So I'm gonna open recent Uber Eats user, the one that we have done. Did I?
You
Okay.
closed the other one.
So I should have done a new window.
Yeah.
And here is the courier application. And in the source screens of a courier application, we need to drag the source screens from the user side application that we have done in the first 2 days. We need to bring the profile screen. So let me, give me some time. I'm gonna do it. Okay, something like this. No, the screen is too small for me. So from user side project, if I'm gonna drag and drop, will it work? profile screen. I hope that it
Let's see.
will. So I have here profile screen. I have here profile screen. That means it's perfect. I can close the user side application for now. Or maybe we should get the authentication context as well. Or should we do it from scratch? We can do it from scratch.
I mean,
but now we have this in our driver side application. We have screens, profile screen. Let's double check if all the imports are okay here. So from React Native, from models, yes. Context. The context, we don't have it yet. So we will have to develop this context. But you know what? I'm going to grab the context as well.
I think that makes sense. It will take too much time
because we have done it already, and the logic for that authentication context is mostly the same. So let's go ahead and create a folder here, contexts. And again, do new window. Let's open the user side application.
Juan is asking,
And
will there be...
One second, yeah. And I'm going to address it. And from the user side application, from the source context, let's bring the authentication context in our application. And let me double check if it didn't delete from there. No. Okay, now I can close that. What else? We'll double check the fields here. And the next step is to fix a bit this information here, because we are not going to work with user model, but with courier model. So before doing that, let me see what question was there. I guess I'm guessing. Okay, will there be any issue if a user that is already in the database as a user later signs up as a courier? If a user that is created like in the user side application, if he created his account there, he will be able to sign in with the same credentials, with the same email and password to the driver side application, because we are using the same Cognito user pool. But the first time when he will enter this application, he's going to be asked to provide more information about himself, like like providing them the things that we're going to do in the next step, basically the transportation mode, for example, and so on. So yeah, some of the data will be duplicated, like the name, but that's not a problem. The good thing about this approach is that we separate the logic of users from the logic of drivers. So in our auth context provider, as I said, we're not gonna work with user model, but with courier model, because we are gonna save couriers. We still have the authentication user, but instead of database user, let's say database courier, not to confuse ourselves. And the same here, set database courier, use state. The sub is as well coming from the auth user, because we are using the same Cognito authentication service. Here, set auth user, perfect. When the sub changes, we are gonna do data store query, not user, but courier. And here, courier sub is equal to the sub of the user that is authenticated. Then users couriers set db courier with couriers at position 0. So here we are just simply querying from our database to see if we already have information about the courier with this sub, with this subject. Now in the auth context provider, we will send the database courier, we will send the set database courier, and that's it.
Yep.
The last step to finish setting up this context provider, we need to wrap our application with with that provider. So let's go in our app.js and import auth context provider from source contexts and then auth context. Now let's wrap our navigation with our auth context provider like this. And by doing this, now all the screens in our navigation will have access to using this auth user, database courier, sub, set database courier, and so on. So let's go in our screens, and because we renamed from database user to database courier, we need to rename it here as well. So database courier, use of context, and where else. Basically everywhere where we have it. And here we have it 2 times. Why we have it 2 times? We need it, we can do it in the same call. And here, not set database user, but set database courier. On save database courier. Basically, it was easier for me just to search and replace. But if we started, let's go ahead on save.
Yeah, so Faradi is asking, hello, do the bottom sheet works on Android devices? I tried it, but it didn't work. So Vadim is using right now a bottom sheet on Android device, and we've actually implemented a fix at the start of the stream, because at
At the
first it
beginning
wasn't
of the
working.
stream.
So yeah, you could rewind a bit and
But
check
in
the fix.
2 words, what you have to
Yeah.
do is to import gesture handler root view from React Native gesture handler, and wrap our navigation with this gesture handler root view, and also provide the style flex one.
Yeah.
That's it. After that, it's gonna work fine. We also had that issue, so don't worry. Okay, back to our profile screen here. We're gonna also update some of the names here. So instead of update user, it's gonna be update courier. And when we call it as well, here, not create user, but create courier. Let's take it and rename the function. Pay attention very closely at everything that we are refactoring, because one little step that we miss and we're gonna have some errors. But let's go ahead and const user courier await data store save. We are not doing a copy of a user, we are doing a copy of a courier, copy of database courier, updated name, at least these ones are good. We don't have address, but we're gonna cover that in a moment. So set database courier with the newly updated courier, and in the create courier, oh my god. So I'm gonna just be silent and do it. Oh, I'm not gonna be silent. Courier. Set database courier with this and here I think we are done.
Just search if there is anything called user.
Yes, let's search user. We don't need it from the models, and that's it. We don't have any more references for our user. Let's see first of all this thing on our screen, and for that we need to check if the database courier is null. That means that the user is not yet saved in the database as a courier, and in that case we shouldn't show the map here and all our screens, but we should see the profile screen. And for that, we're gonna implement some conditional rendering of the screens inside our navigation index. The first thing is we need to import the newly added screen, the profile screen. Profile screen as profile. I prefer profile screen. We need to import the use authentication context from the context, because we inside this navigation we need to determine if the database courier is defined or not. Courier, we need to decide what screens we are rendering here. So let's add this check. So if database courier is defined, then we need to render something. Otherwise, we need to render something else. So if it is defined, that means that the user is saved in database and we can safely show him our order screen, order delivery screen, and so on. We cannot have two children here inside this inside here. We have to put them in a simple empty fragment, just in order to have only one child here. And for the second option, when the database courier is not defined, we will render a stack.screen with a name, a profile, and the component is going to be profile screen. Why you're not giving suggestions? Let's save and let's reload our application. I'm curious if it's gonna work.
Hey, Sulak, by the way, I remember him as well from the previous streams.
Hello,
And
hello.
Animal is asking, hey, please help me. I'm from Java background. Can anyone tell me, should I start with React and switch to React Native, or probably vice versa? I think if like it doesn't really matter if you start from React or React Native. I started with React Native. Vadim doesn't remember, but he says most likely he started with React Native as well and then learned React. So I think it depends on what you want to build, like either websites or mobile applications.
Yeah, I agree. Someone says that you need React.js knowledge before getting into React Native, but I don't say so. Like, you can learn the React.js basics while learning React Native or by learning React Native.
Yeah, I agree.
Of course, like, it's going to be easier for you if you already have some experience with React.js, but I don't consider that as a prerequisite. My server stopped.
Yeah.
So let's
Like it.
start it again. npm start.
That was actually my background before starting to learn like React Native. Also, I knew Java, a little bit of C++,
And
and
Android Studio.
yeah, actually an Android, yeah. But so, and then I started working, learning React Native, and then gradually learned React like as well when I needed to. And it wasn't a hard switch or anything. It was pretty easy to like figure out what's where and what's doing what after that.
So here we have it. Our application loaded. What happened like in our application? Well, let me close everything. So our app.js is where everything starts. We get here to the authentication context, and let's see what logic do we have in the authentication context when the component is rendered. So if we go to the source context, we see that in authentication context, we have this use effect that runs when the component mounts. And what it does, it gets the current authenticated user. Perfect, it gets it and then it sets in the state. After we set in the state, this sub, basically the ID of the authentication user will change, and it will automatically trigger the next use effect that will query the data store, the database, for a courier with that matches this sub that we know it has. It doesn't have anything, so it sets in the database. So it sets in the state the database courier with null. Now, back to our app.js, the next step is our navigation. Okay, let's go to navigation. What does our navigation do? First, it gets the database courier, which you remember is null. It checks Is database courier defined or is it null? It's null. That means that we have to render the profile screen. Perfect. That's how we ended up here, and that's what we needed. Now, let me go ahead and in the profile screen, let's see if we need all of these things. For example, address is something that we don't need because the database courier, we said that doesn't have an address. We don't care about the address of the courier. We care about his latitude and longitude. But again, it's not going to be set here because he's going to move and we are going to automatically take it from his location. So we don't need this one as well. What we need here is a way to check his driving, the transportation mode, right? Because if we look at the data that we have in Amplify Studio for a courier, we have name, we have sub. The sub we will get from the authenticated user. Latitude, longitude, they are required, but we're going to initialize with 0, and later on update with his real location, and then transportation mode. For transportation mode, remind me if we have any default and some very easy drop downs in React Native.
I don't
without
think so. Let me check.
Without installing any libraries. I don't want to go through installing libraries only for this feature.
There is a deprecated one, and they say like you should use community created ones. So
you know what? I'm gonna create a selector myself.
Yep.
Is it a good idea or not?
I don't know what will take more time. I think this one will take more time.
Look, we're gonna have 2 checkboxes for driving or what's the other one,
or
like cycling?
driving, but with a bike.
Oh no! You know what? We're gonna have like even better. Give me some icons for driving and cycling, and we're gonna have them here in a view. We're gonna have two icons with 2 boxes. So this is box 1 for driving. This is box 2 for cycling. So style here we have flex 1. Let's do background color white, or I know red for now, just to see it on the screen. And for the icons, did you find something?
I sent you a bike already.
A bike. The bike is material icons pedal bike, but we need to import material icons on the top here as import material icons from expo vector icons. So let's see, material icons, and the second one should be under the name size 40. Okay, there it is, and I can duplicate it for now.
I've sent you already for a car as well, just in case you want it.
And for the car is an icon font awesome 5 car, and I need to import it as well from vector icons. Now let's go ahead and where is it? Here it is. For this view that contains both of these buttons, I'm gonna say flex direction row. Okay, now as I said, we will do, let's do also justify content.
Please make the car icon bigger as well. It's so hard to watch.
Okay, I'm not gonna work there. Miss 40. Don't tell me that you again stopped. Okay, we have them here, and let's style the whole thing. So let's add them some margin 10, some padding 10, and some border width of 1, border color gray, but it will depend if it's selected or not, and border radius 10. Perfect.
Voila.
uh like this, or right, yeah, yeah,
Yep.
something like this. Now let's give the same style for our second icon. And you know what we have to do? We have to keep a state variable with the selected icon. So transportation mode, and set transportation mode is equal use state. And by default, let's initialize it with a value transportation modes that we import from the models in order to access it as
Jesus.
a enum.
This
What?
is a long line of code.
Yeah. So we say that by
Bicycling?
default, the selected transportation mode is bicycling. What?
I thought it's driving, but it's a.
Okay, driving. Let's go for with driving. And in that case, but it's okay. Now, what we have to do is to say, will green look good? Light green, I don't know. Light
I can give you
green.
the green from
Light
yesterday.
green, like this. Are
It
you?
will. We won't see the screen for too much, so it's
Yes, that's
okay.
true. So let's set the background color depending on what is our state, what is the current transportation mode selected. So we're gonna do it like this. If transportation mode is equal to the driving, I'm probably gonna have to do it like this. Then the background color will be light green. Otherwise, it's gonna be white.
Just saying, if you want, you have the code in private chat. Color
For
code.
the
Yeah.
color,
Yeah.
okay, Lucas gives me a better color. Okay, perfect. And let's do the same for our transportation mode, uh, for our background color for the bike as well. But here we need to check if it's bicycling. Now it displays properly, but whenever we click on some of them, we need to move from one to another. And for that, we will need a pressable to detect press events on the view itself. So let's go ahead and replace this view with a pressable and say on press, we want to set the current transportation mode to bicycling, basically this one. If I press, it switches automatically. And we need to do the same for the car because now I cannot go back to the car.
And if you guys want, you could like extract the comparing what mode to a separate function and then also change the border color and icon color to white or green. It will look even better.
Yep, I also think so. But for now, what we want just to select, are you bicycling or driving? And that's it. And this information is stored inside our state. So that the next step is that whenever we, first of all, create a courier, we will say the name. We don't have an address. For the latitude, let's do 0 and 0 because if I'm not mistaken, we made them required, and but we don't care about them at this moment. We will care later. The sub and also the transportation mode, right?
I think so. I hope so.
Yeah. And let's do the same for the update courier. the updated name, yes, we can update name. Actually, we're not going to update it, but let's prepare it. Address, we don't have it. Latitude, longitude, no. Only the updated dot transportation mode equal transportation mode. That's it. So now I can say I'm Vadim and I'm gonna drive a bicycle. Let's save. Field letter should be of type string, number received. Why did I make them
Oh,
string? Lukai,
that's
that's
not
a
good.
bad. That's not good. If we look at the data here, what we will see is that latitude and longitude here is string, but everywhere else, for example, for a user, it's a float. Yeah, we need to change from string
But it's
here,
not required.
but it's not required, which is good. So that's perfect. Let's go ahead in our Amplify Studio and change the data type for latitude in the courier model to a float number. And the same thing here with a float number. And here is required, but late and long is not required. Perfect. That's what actually we needed. Let's press save and deploy. And while we are working, it will deploy the new changes. And until we get to the point when we need the latitude and longitude, we're going to have them there. But now, because they are not required, we can skip them from creating a new courier. And now let's give it a try one more time. Save, and we are right away in the application. And the next time we reload the application, we will fetch the database courier. We will see that it is there because I can show you in the content, data, content. I cannot see the content because it's deploying. But basically, we see that it automatically redirects here. And I can also, for example, in the context of context, let me simply console log database courier. By doing that, I can see it in here somewhere. Courier. ID, latitude, null, longitude, null, name, Vadim, transportation mode, bicycling. Perfect, exactly what we wanted.
I think you
Lucas?
should have selected driving. It's easier to demonstrate while driving on a
We can
highway.
update it later.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we are done with our authentication system, and we store our user in both in the Cognito for the authentication that we didn't implement much there, just use the authentication module, and also in our database.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, it's good progress right now. After all of these changes, we'll start getting into
Into the meat.
yeah.
Yes, because we are done with authentication. So the next step is actually user driver CRUD as well, because we have created our driver there. We are done with this as well. The next one is worders. On the first screen that we see here, we are displaying some dummy worders. But what we have to do is to actually query the worders from our database and display them here.
Yep.
Right, Lucas?
Yep.
Right. So let's go ahead and do just that.
And while you're starting, I'm going to catch a short break and come back in a second.
Okay, so let's go ahead in our screen that has these worders, and that's the worders screen. Let's open our index.js. And here on the top, we see that we are simply importing worders from our assets data, from the dummy data, and we are displaying them here, first of all, on the map, and second of all, in the flat list. Okay, now our goal is to first fetch these orders from our database, save them in state, and then use them to display on the map and in the flat list. To save them in state, we will need a state variable called orders and set orders, which is going to be a use state. And by default, we're going to have an empty array for the orders. My use state was not imported from the right place. It should be from React. So let's delete this one here. And the next step, we are gonna need a use effect to query the orders when this component mounts. So let's go ahead and say use effect. When should it happen? Well, when the component mounts. That's why we have empty dependency array here. And we will need to query orders using data store. So let's import data store or data store. How do you say it?
Data.
Data store. Okay.
I say it like that.
And we need to import the model that we want to fetch. The model is going to be inside the models folder, and the model is orders. Okay. Let's go ahead and using data store. Okay.
Potato.
Let's do query, and we're going to query the orders. After we query them, then we simply set the orders. When you read this, it's so close to how we speak, like how English works.
Yeah.
Like with data store, query the orders and then set them in state. It makes so much sense.
If you would add set order state, that's one word after change the naming and it's completely the same.
Yeah, so with that, we don't see any orders. We don't have any orders?
I don't know. Do we? Maybe
oh,
it's because
probably it's
updating.
order. Probably it's order, actually.
Yeah, the model is order, yes. And
then maybe at the end I'm going to show you how not to have that small moment in time when we see that profile form, because it's quite easy to implement. We just need to add a spinner there while it is loading.
Yeah.
Undefined is not an object, order, user, and name. Let's go ahead and console log orders and see what data do we have there. Because we might not have everything that we need
I think it's
yet.
undefined.
Are you displaying it?
I think it displayed and it was undefined. Maybe it's because it's still updating in the Amplify.
No, I don't think so.
Did?
An error occurred while fetching the backend. Missing credential in config. What?
Okay, it's done.
Let me see if it was updated. So for the courier, yes, float and float.
And also check if there are any orders.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and pull first of all, because we have made these changes and they are already updated. And after that, we can continue. But yeah, not to forget to pull everything. So amplify pull.
While it's doing that, you can quickly check if we have any orders created already.
In the backend?
Yeah, in the back.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go ahead in the content. I think we should. I don't know what happened.
I remember that we were doing that, but
no, the error is saying that there is an order, but there is no .user there. So I just need to look. So for example, orders, yeah, we have a couple of them.
But do we have a user there?
It should be, but maybe not when we query it. Maybe we need one extra query. Let's go
I
ahead
think we
and
only
do
have user, like, yeah, I think we will need the extra query.
for the user.
Yeah. But
So my server again stopped, and I can do npm start again. Yeah, the order has order ID.
user
The
ID.
order have user ID, and based on that user ID, we will need to not iOS, please. Basically, to fix that issue without even looking at it, we can say something like this. It's in the order item, right?
Yeah.
Let's. And why you're still here? Okay. I don't know what happened there. Undefined is not evaluating order username. And for that, let's go in our components, order item index. And here we receive order, but when we try to render information about the user, we need to safely access it because at this moment, the user is not queried. Basically, in the data about the user, we don't have it. So to show you, we can look at the console log here, and this is the information about the orders that we know. So order, we know information right away about the restaurant because you know why we have information about the restaurant but we don't know about the user? It's because of the way we created the relationship. We created the relationship from an order to a restaurant as a one-to-one relationship, but in our case we created the relationship from a user to the order in order for easier querying all the orders for a user. So now we just have a user ID, but we don't have user itself. So it's not that hard to get the user itself as well. For example, here in the order item, we can query it here, most probably. So let's do, we can query it here. So const user set user use state null initially, and after that we can in a use effect. You don't work on my side. Import use effect,
Don't press enter.
use state from React, and we will need to import data store from AWS Amplify and also import user from models, and that's it. So in this use effect, we are going to do data store dot query user, and we know already the user ID because we have it in the order dot user ID. And we can query directly the user and then simply set the user in state. And at this moment, instead of working with order.user, we're going to work with user directly from our state user. And we see 5 orders from different restaurants. Oh, you know what? The flat list is not.
I saw this error on Android as well. So while you are working, let me try to
I
find.
remember some of these errors with flat list. But okay, we're gonna see later why it's not working here. The scrolling, but querying our orders and displaying them here is working, and all of this data is coming from the database. So I can look here at the order. We see that it's 72 kilometers away, but on this screen we are not querying the data yet. So I shouldn't go there because everything is here. And all the orders on the map as well are displayed properly because I created them somewhere in Moldova, and I'm gonna try to zoom in if I'm gonna be able.
After
No.
you're ready, let's try to fix it. I found one way.
So here on the map, we see two different restaurants because the orders are from the same restaurant. That's why we see them here.
Not the same restaurant. Oh, two of them are in one stack.
Two,
Yeah.
two of
Yeah.
them, three of them are from one restaurant, Williamson. That's why we see the
Yeah.
Williamson here. And the other one is from Kauter and Sons.
Yeah. So
And we see them here.
one nice feature as well that you could add, like for viewers can add, is if there are multiple in one, show
yeah.
icon with like a pop-up, like saying 5 or something like that.
That's good.
So I found a way to fix it. So go to the top of this page, and instead of to the top where the imports are, and instead of importing flatlist from React Native,
I remember.
yeah, import the bottom sheet flatlist from the same yeah, from this
Here, right?
Yeah, bottom sheet flatlist.
Sheet flat list. So basically, this is the same flat list, but it is aware that it is inside a flat list and it knows how to scroll properly. So let's just replace our flat list. It has the same props. Just how it works behind the scenes. And now I can scroll through them. It properly knows like when to scroll the list and when you are closing the
bottom sheet.
Yeah, but it works so good. Like if I scroll slowly, it scrolls the list. But if I scroll very fast, it automatically closes this one. Amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that means that we are done with what? With, wait a second. Orders CRUD. So fetch orders. The next one is the order details page. Basically, whenever we press on one of these orders, we need to fetch the data from the database as well.
Yep.
But you know what? Before moving there, I want to show something. On the order screen, we shouldn't query all the orders. We should query only the orders that are in the state ready for pickup.
Yep.
So for that, let's go ahead in our database with Amplify Studio. Let's grab one of these orders and let's make only this order ready for pickup. Because you as a driver should see orders only that are ready for pickup on the map. So to filter the orders based on that status, we're going to provide a filter function here. So for the order, I want to filter the order based on the status, and it should be equal to ready for pickup. And just by doing that, we see only one order.
Nice.
Great, amazing. And I'll make the one more from the other restaurant. Let me see how to understand for
order restaurant ID.
It's this one, so it should be different. It's probably this one.
Yeah, this one is different.
Ready for pickup, save. And now if I'm gonna refresh, take it easy.
We even heard Vadim singing. Well, this stream is on another level.
Like the fourth day I'm going crazy, yeah?
Yeah.
After accepting a order, a driver could hit the back button on the Android navigation and exit that order. When clicking on the order again, the accept order button is pressable. Yeah, maybe we will keep track of active order somewhere, and we'll always know like, hey, you have an active order.
Yeah.
Go there, deliver it. All right. So the next step, as we said, is the details page, and we will do that in the order delivery screen. So let's grab it. Probably I will need to right away move my position there, but we can do it later because it will not be able to calculate the route from here. But yes, we don't need this order anymore. Go away. We don't need these orders. We will query them.
But I
And
think it makes more sense to change the longitude and latitude of the restaurants, because right now we won't be able to simulate the driving if it's the same as on the iPhone.
I think here it's a bit different. I think here, like,
You select and it's
you
driving from there.
routes that you see. Yeah, I think you can, I don't know, import.
Oh, here, just drag your location on the map. No, can you click? And
Oh, and okay, and from here to here, for example. Okay, and we can save route. Okay, we will be
yeah,
able.
that's good.
Yeah. Okay, so what else we will need? The use state, use effect. We will need data store here. So let's import data store, and we will need the import order from models, and that's it. Okay, now first things first, let's declare our state variable here for the order. Const order set order use state null. Now, in order to get rid of that error, we will add the if statement before rendering everything here. The if statement will be if order is still null, that means that we are still loading. So let's return an
I think
activity.
we have that already for a little bit higher.
Did we?
We added it for I think user location. So
Oh, the driver
driver
location.
location.
Oh, let's grab it down there
Yeah, makes sense.
because it's about like what's rendered on the screen. So I'm gonna combine these together and say if at least one of these two are not defined, then return this activity indicator, because Lucas will not let me live without having it large. And also color, Lucas. You forgot
Color.
about that?
Yes, exactly.
And find variable order. Where? Where
Mm,
you can't find variable order.
maybe there's going to be a lot of orders.
But we don't get here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here for order delivery location, restaurant
Oh,
location.
delivery location. So this delivery location.
We should initialize them also like later on, but we do need this for checks.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna grab them and add them here.
I think you need to add them under, no?
That would be an option, but again, like I like keeping them here, so we can say
Access safe, yeah.
safely accessing them. Probably, definitely, we'll have to change them because it's going to be a bit different, like for the
Yeah.
user and so on. But at least for now, it's good. So if I'm going to go here, I see the loading indicator because the order is not fetched yet. What we have to do is to scroll up somewhere here, and let's fetch the order in a use effect. We fetch it when we get here, and we will need the ID of a order. So we will get the ID from the route. For that, we need to use route from React Navigation Native. Where we have navigation, I'm gonna also get the route use route. Oh, Vadim, 2 words, like 7 mistakes.
Actually, one. Well, yeah.
And the ID of a order is gonna be inside route.params.id. And here as well safely. If I'm not mistaken, we already are sending this whenever we press. And I'm gonna add this ID to the use effect because I want to refetch the order whenever the ID changes. So data store dot query order. I'm gonna provide the ID, and then I'm gonna set order. But let me also check if ID is undefined. I don't want to do anything. So return. Okay, now if I go here, undefined is not an object evaluating order.user.
We don't
Yes,
have that.
that's right, because we need to fetch the user of a order separately. So let's go ahead and do the same. User set user. Initially, it's going to be null. And when should we query the user? When we already have the ordering state, because we depend on the order.user ID to know who is the user.
Yep.
So let's add an effect on
This
that property.
Yeah.
A lot of effects. And the
Everything.
effect is going to be user, simply user.
Not order?
No, order.
Yeah.
If order changes, we can, if order is undefined, return, but otherwise, query the user from the models with the order with ID order.user ID, and then set it in state. Set user. Let's go ahead and see once again. But whenever we do, let's check dot user. And whenever we are doing this, we should change to innate location. We should simply change to user.latitude because it's in a separate state variable, user.longitude. Same things here, user.latitude.
I think we can simply pass that.
So one option would be not order but user. To still show the loading indicator.
No, I mean like that's why we created those two constants.
Oh, the coordinate. So this marker is going to be the user location, or how is it called?
I think I forgot actually how it's called.
Delivery location.
Yeah.
So this is delivery location, and here user, but as well, instead of always worrying that the user can be null, let's add the third check here. If order is null, or user is null, or driver location is null, then show loading indicator, and only after that display what we have here.
Yep.
So we have, where are we? Order.user. make sure that everywhere where we access the order.user, we change to the simply user here as well. And here,
No. Here
here
it's
is
all.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And now let's see if it works. Okay, probably it failed to calculate the distance, but
It
we
takes some
see.
time because it's far. Give it a second. I
I don't want.
almost spilled my tea on my computer.
Okay, don't do that. So as we can see, we have a title, we have an address of a restaurant, and this is coming from the database. As you can see, DSDAS. And we have everything that the user ordered. Great. No,
But
I think.
that's the user order. We need to change that data because everything that user ordered is dummy data right now.
Oh, yeah. So let's go ahead and find I'm lost.
Most likely, you need to reload what we have in Egypt. What?
The user is there.
Wow,
So
Vadim, that's nice.
let's see what data are we working with. For the restaurant, let's see his address. The address is, yeah, this one is 46 and the other one is 28. Remember. For the user, we should also say 26 and this one is
46.
48, no?
No, remember, and we already forgot. I think it's the other way around. Like latitude should be 48 and
Restaurant 46
yeah.
and 28. 46 and 28. So user, I'm gonna say 46 and 28.
Yeah.
And that's the same for my location. So for location, let's do.
But now,
But
where do you
actually,
set the coordinates?
uh,
I saw someone said that you can set the specific coordinates.
single points here, I think.
Maybe.
Okay. So let's
Where do
say
you live, Vadim?
one, save this point,
Oh, okay, that's nice. That's even nicer than iOS, I think.
set location I can do, and I'm here. And now if I'm gonna restart the application, we have a new data. Come on. Are you working?
Something is null.
I should clear up like everywhere
Console logs, yeah.
the console logs, yeah.
Mm, yeah.
Boom.
Most likely you'll have to restart again.
Run on Android. I don't want to.
I don't think it's gonna work like that. Oh no,
It's
it
gonna
does.
work. So let's go ahead and open our first order here. And we see that we
Oh
are
wow,
quite
very
slow.
far away.
In total, the whole drive is gonna take, yeah, because this one is quite far.
It's
So,
not in Moldova anymore.
so you know what? I'm gonna put everything like around these two.
But I mean, it's not.
It's okay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. So We see the updated data here, and we see that we have to go first to the restaurant here, and then to the user in a completely different country. Perfect. Here, what do we have? We have information about the restaurant. It's working. Address as well, because we can see it in the restaurant Williamson. This one, we see Williamson. We see his address, Florian Forest, and that's it. That's everything that we need to know from restaurant. And the same thing for the user. We see the end address that is here. Okay.
Yeah,
What?
did we added orders, order details in our modeling when we were modeling the database? Because right now we are just displaying hard-coded data for onion rings, Big Mac.
For this one?
Yeah.
What are you asking if we can query them?
Yeah, if we can
Or-
display them.
Yes, we can display them, and for that we're gonna need to do one more query,
Okay.
but it's possible. So the same way as we did for the users, we're gonna do for the dish items, set dish items, use state an empty array because we expect them to be an array, and we will query them when also the order changes. So same way here, as we query more information about the order like the user, we also need to query more information about the order like dishes. So data store dot query order dish, and we will not query all of them, but we will filter. So order dish dot order ID should be equal, not equal. We call it and we provide equal to the order dot ID. And then we simply set order dishes, set dishes, dish items. Okay. And let's have a look at them. Let's go ahead
We'll
and
check if we have it before rendering, I think, as well, for order, user, the driver location, and order items.
I wouldn't say to wait for it.
But if we don't have that, then it means it will crash unless you add a
It will
safety
not crash
access.
because it's
You
an empty
initialize
array.
this empty array, yes.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. So we can do console.log order the dish. Come on, how did I call them?
Dish items.
Dish items set dish. Okay, yeah. Dish items. Hey, let's have a look. Here, array. Not this one. I need to clean up a bit. I promise, mom, I'm gonna do it later. No, we still need to go there because we are on a different screen. So let's select this one, and we see order dish with a dish and with the quantity. That's everything that we need. Oh, now let's display them here instead of this dummy data. Here we have onion ring. So I'm gonna delete everything else except this text, and I'm going to render it in a bottom sheet flat list. So in order to work here, so it's gonna be bottom sheet flat list. Where are you?
It's on the bottom. Yeah. Here it is. You
Onion
see.
rings. Okay. So bottom sheet flat list. For the data, we're gonna work with dish items, and for the render item, what we are gonna do, We're going to get the item that we want to render, and we're going to simply render this simple text. And after that,
Close
we
the
need to
bottom sheet.
close everything. And here we have it. So for the name, we're going to do item dot dish dot name. And for the quantity, it's going to be item dot quantity. So it's not working. Maybe it doesn't have any dishes. If I go here,
I think maybe it's hidden somewhere and we don't display this
order
bottom sheet.
details container. Do we need this one? If I don't have it, dish items. If I do it like this, 1, 2, 3, and here
I think
I
it is like loading them. I'm pretty sure, but it just doesn't display them. Maybe add like flex 1 on the whole view and see what we.
yeah. Have it here, order details container.
Try to set the background to red, and then we'll be able to see where is it. Okay.
You know what? Another way to test it is to do here. You don't have to do it, guys. Like I'm gonna do console log item or this. I think that's how you do it. So right now I need to remove this one. Okay, like this. Order dish. Another order dish, another, and another one. Yeah, okay, something is, oh.
Maybe let's see how do you exit them?
You know, I'm not even sure that having a scroll view here, like a flat list here, is perfect. Maybe we can simply map through them because they are not a lot. Like they never be like 100 order dish items.
Well, you don't know. Maybe it's a party, but most likely.
Maybe. So I would actually do it this way. I will do dish items dot map, and for each dish item, I'm going to simply return this text here and go away bottom sheet flat list. Dish
Now let's
item
see
and dish item.
where the problem was. Is it the flat list? Yep.
Yes. And now it says that it needs a key. So we can simply do key is equal to dish item dot ID. And for the styles, I can remove a color red, and we are back to normal.
Yep.
Okay. All right. The only thing is, you know what, Lucas?
No.
I'm thinking if there will be a lot of them, it will push the buttons down.
I think no.
I know.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't.
it's
But
okay. No, at least it doesn't push the button down. So
if we have time, we can work on it
yeah.
later on. I'll fix it.
Yeah. So we are displaying all the information, all the details about the orders. Okay, Daniel is here. Hello, Daniel. The next step, Lucas, is to actually accept the order, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And add the order to accept. that order state. If that depends, how are we approaching this? Do we need
Yeah.
it? We need it like to know in the whole application if you go back and try to accept another one for that. But
Um, Look what we're gonna do. I think I want to extract the logic of like accepting, creating, and so on
mhm,
in a context because we already have a lot of things here.
yeah, it's a lot.
So
We have 1 hour.
okay, let me think. Yeah, let's go with the context, and we are gonna create like this context in order for us to know on in any part of application if we have an active order, like to interact with the active order and so on. So let's go ahead and create the order context.js, and let's grab some of the things from here from the auth context that we will need. For example, this one is going to be order context. And let's define the order context provider. Now let's return the order context dot provider with the value empty object at the moment. Later we're going to add it. And everything that we are going to receive as children, we're going to render inside here to give our screens access to the context. Now let's export default order context provider, and also let's export a helper hook called use order context that will help us to get the context using use context order context. Okay, now in app.js we need to import that provider, that context provider for our order context. Let's rename it as well to order context, and let's wrap our navigation with a order context provider. Put navigation there so that authentication is first and then order context, because in order context we still have need some information about the authentication. Okay, look, we could move the functionalities that we have already there, like querying the order here, but maybe we will do it later. Now what we need here is a function on accept order, and let's expose it. And on accept order, we're going to receive a order here. Now, let's get this function inside our screens order delivery. Do we have contexts here? We don't have context here, but we will get them somewhere here.
A lot of
And
space.
it's going to be use order context, the one that we defined right now. And from the whole context at the moment, we only need that function accept order on accept order, or just accept order, because on accept order feels like a callback function. So accept order, we should call it on button pressed picked up or this accepted?
And the first one, yeah, when we change to
This
accepted.
one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so at the moment we'll still use this set delivery status, but later we will move to something else. But now we just simply say accept order, and we can say the order that we want to accept. Order. Now, in the order context, what should happen when a driver accepts the order? We should update the order and assign change status, and also assign the driver to the order.
Yep.
So to assign the driver to the order, we first need the database driver, the database courier. Okay, courier. For that, we can easily take it from the use of context, and we can take as database user, database courier. Okay, now what we have to do? We have to use data store to save a copy of the order that we are trying to update. That's how we update an item with data store. So order dot copy of the order that we are working with, and in the function that will receive this updated order, we can change, for example, updated dot status equal to, oh, we are missing a status, right?
Yeah. But after you accept,
But
you
yeah,
should
like
change
in
it
this
to.
case, we can go ahead and work when the driver accepts. We can still keep the order in. No.
But you can hard code it here. What's the problem?
I need to update the data.
Yeah, so why can't you just say, like, after accepting, the the state will be picked up? Oh, you don't have that. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
So let's go ahead in our database, because we will not be able to work without this at the moment, and add in the order in the data order status. Let's add this accepted value, and I can probably even move it, right? I don't know if I want to, and why would I? I don't need to.
It's okay.
Yeah. And after adding this accepted, let's save and deploy. Deploy, and while we are waiting, we will just work for the moment with, for example, let's say
You do really want to do that?
yeah, I'm gonna set it for now to cooking, because we need to move to progress with our application. Update to accepted. And I just want to show you how it works. Now, another thing that we need to change is the order.courier that we will set. Why is it like this? Oh, wait a second. I need here like this. Okay, update status cooking, update courier. And let's also save this new order as the const. How should we call it?
Active
Accepted
order.
order. What?
Active order or accepted order.
Active order, and set active order.
What are you thinking about?
Mm, thinking about just order.
Don't you think that will be like very hard to, because we have order also in our order item, we have order in our
Yes,
the
yes. No, the
naming
problem
when
the problem here that I'm thinking about is that inside our order delivery, here we are working with we are treating this screen for both unaccepted orders and accepted orders. Hmm.
Mhm. But then if you
Well,
click accept,
hmm?
if you click accept the order, it's that's going to be the one that you accept.
Yeah, but then we're gonna have to add a lot of checks. Like, are we working with an accepted order or with a order that we fetched from the props?
But then
Fetched.
that's why you have active order.
We'll see. Maybe it's gonna be easy. So what do we have here? Well, we need to do okay, data store save, and after we save, we simply set active order here. What I'm interested right now is to see that we actually assign a driver to a order, and for that, we're not going to be able to see until we deploy everything here. So
Yeah,
we will
now that I'm
have to wait.
thinking, yeah, that might be a big problem with because we're treating that screen as this with order and later active order as well.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just trying to think if separating into two screens.
That was our initial like idea. After you click that green button, that means that's it. You accepted this order. But it makes sense to see the route that you have to go through.
We'll see. We'll figure it out. Maybe we will take some time tomorrow, probably, to refactor it a bit. But until everything is deployed and we can see, I'm gonna take a very small break, and I'm gonna be back.
Okay. And it's updated.
And it's updated, so I don't have time for the break. Let's go ahead and do the pull command because we updated our backend. Let's pull everything, and we can right away change in our order context the status that we're setting here.
Yeah.
We first should wait for it to pull, and then we will have access to it.
Hello and welcome back, Aditya.
Accepted, we have it. So let's set it to the accepted. Now we can go to the content. We can look at, for example, let's get this order
Okay.
and say accept order. Nothing much changed, but if I'm gonna look at the orders, one of them should be accepted. Or it's still cooking. Oh, I think
It's
it
going to
didn't
be
update
cooking.
and it moved it to cooking. Okay, I'm gonna have to refresh it one more time. But the good thing is that it has a courier, and the courier
Nice.
is Vadim. I should have named it something else. But yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's try it one more time because I didn't refresh the application. So let's put it in ready for pickup, and let's remove the courier from here. Remove. Yes. Come on. It doesn't want. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was with the status. So I updated it here. Let's refresh the application. Tracking option. Yes, we're gonna implement that as well.
Not sure when, but I was wondering if he's thinking about the tracking option for a user who ordered to see where the driver is,
I
or
think we're gonna do that as well because that's very interesting. I'm
yeah,
not sure
that's
how
very
we will
interesting.
manage in time and when.
Probably
Mm,
not this week. I don't think there will be time
m-
this week, but we'll see.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, we'll see. We'll decide. So we still have two orders. Let's take this first one. Let's accept it. And let's see how it updated it in our database. If I look at the last one, we see that it is accepted and it has a courier. And if I'm going to refresh the page, I shouldn't see this order on the map already because it's not in the ready for pickup state. And other drivers will not be able to take it. Come on. Okay, I probably need a short break. So while it loads
Oh wow! You
again.
shouldn't say that. You should just go.
So yeah, the thing is that yeah, we don't see that order. It's already picked up by someone. By someone, it was us. But yeah, we are filtering properly.
Yep,
Let's
nice.
move it back to accepted, to ready for pickup,
Hey, John.
and yeah, now definitely I'm gonna be back in 1 second.
Okay. So Vadim really needed a break after this intense 2-hour coding. And how are you guys holding up? I'm yawning a lot because I didn't have my nap today. So I wanna, and I didn't had much sleep as well. So I really want to go to sleep. Um, yeah. So how are you guys holding up? Are you coding together? What about order history and ratings options with comment about food items? So order history, you will be able to see your order history. Rating options, that's probably an extra feature. So we're not sure if we're going to do this, and if we are going to do this, probably maybe not this week. But yeah, we'll decide. We'll see. But for order history, you will see that. How long do you take naps? My nap is 20 minutes. I go to sleep, I set my alarm for 20 minutes, and after I wake up, I feel like fresh.
Yes, that works for me as well.
And I remember when we were living in Belgium together, you didn't used to take naps when we were studying, but I
Now,
was.
now I take naps because I go to the gym at 5 in the morning, like
No.
5:40, and like at midday, like I need that like 20 minutes power nap just to
Yeah,
start a new
same,
way.
same.
So what's the next plan? What are we doing here? We
Power naps, way to go. Yes, James. I agree. Definitely agree. I love him. Yes,
okay.
Vadim is in Spain right now.
In Spain without what? Without S?
Hopefully
Uh,
not.
True, true, true. So we pick the order.
But we still see. No bueno.
No. I updated it manually.
Oh, you update.
Just to see it. Just to see it. Yeah.
Okay,
Now
good.
I'm just trying to think our next steps. For example,
I think
in our order delivery screen, we will not have to work with the delivery status because we will take it from the active order.
yes. Now we don't need it anymore. But also, I think the next step is that's pretty important. Like to not allow take another order while you still have an active order which is in accepted or picked up. While it's not completed in the completed state, you shouldn't be able to take another order.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
that's probably the next steps. Now I'm trying to think how to, you know, how we can do it.
yep.
Hmm. We can say something like this. Where is the, well, we need to take the active order from the context, equal use active order. Trying to code in my head like all the options till the end and trying to understand like which one is the best one.
Yeah, this is a tricky situation right now. There's a lot of ifs, and
No, you
it's
know
really
what? You
important
know
to
what?
this.
You know
Yep.
what? I'm going to move the logic of, for example, fetching the order, fetching the user, everything related to fetching and orders, basically all the logic for the orders. I'm going to move it in the order context.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to work here. I'm gonna keep the same order in state, being it active or not, and I'm gonna only um, and I'm gonna decide if it's active or not based on its
Status.
status.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, yeah. You can even have a separate variable that's only for that.
Yeah. A separate state like is
Yeah,
taken or something like if I need
yeah,
easier
yeah. If
way.
you need. Yeah.
So in that case, let's move back to order here and set order use state and from the this order delivery, I'm gonna grab these two use effects. The one, but these shouldn't be use effects. Um, yes. Un momento. Here in the use effect, when we receive the ID of the word that we need to query, let's call a function fetch order and send the ID there. This fetch order is going to come from our order context, fetch order. Let's go ahead in order context and define this fetch order. Const fetch order equal order, and we are going to do data store dot. Actually, here I'm going to work with async function. So data store dot query order by ID. Not order here, ID here.
React use state returns an array. Is that different in React Native? No, it's also an array. Aditya says, if I got a chance to visit there, I will meet you both in Spain. But I am not
Definitely.
currently in Spain. Hopefully, I'll go there somewhere to visit Vadim.
So let's do first of all set order with await this one. Then as I said, why do I have this order? Now I need to clear things for the user and for the order dish. But you're gonna say that I'm crazy, but I'm gonna go back to not saving them separately in state like user and dish items, but just add them to our order model there.
Yeah, I like it. But you're
So
crazy.
I'm gonna say user is equal data store query user order user ID. And for that, I'm gonna have to first query the order. So const fetched order equal await that. We set order with a fetched order, fetched. And then we will set it at the end, not here, like somewhere at the end, because we want to edit this fetched order.
Yeah.
I want to say fetched order dot user is equal to query user. And here not order, but fetched order.
I am from Lithuania.
And the same for fetched order dot dishes equal to this one and without then, because we will await data store query order dish where it is not order but fetched order.
That's what
So
your
now
mom means.
we are querying different things, but we are putting everything together here in order not to have to work with a lot of state variables. And for the fetch order, okay, set order here. And we can expose this order.
That was a definition
this.
of a cleanup. And I think that's what your mom and my means when she says like clean up your room. You made it everything so clean, like in one state, everything nicely.
Yeah, let's see how it will work.
Yeah,
But
that's
not
also
fetch, but
important.
fetched here. Okay. Now, in the index here, we're going to have to change a lot of things. For example, we don't need the state for the order here. We don't need the state for the user, nor do we need the state for the dish items. What we need is from this use order context, which I'm going to move at the top just for us to see. I will do fetch order. Yeah. We need to export fetch order here in the value. And on our screen, we import the fetch order, and also the first thing that we import is the order itself. Now, everywhere where we have user dot something, we will have order dot capital U with user.
Change it back.
Yeah, let's put with lowercase u, right?
Well, not much difference.
Okay, in 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna set it to the user and here to the dishes. Will I regret this?
I don't know.
Order.user, but as well, let's safely access it. Order.user, safely access address. Next one, .user, order.user. This, what else? User.
Knavich sounds like a Greek name. Maybe.
This use effect in the order delivery, we don't need it anymore because we are fetching information about user and order dishes in that context. To delivery location is going to be order dot user dot location, and here order dot user dot longitude. Okay. We don't need this user check, just order check. Order. Everything with order is okay. Now, where we are rendering the dish items. So it's not going to be dish items. It's going to be order dot. Let's see how we called it, dishes. And it might be null. Let's give it a try. Let's just reload and see if everything so far works that we managed to do.
That's a lot of refactoring. Yeah, most
Yeah.
likely, like from this blue loading screen, I think you'll have to restart your server.
Think so?
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see. Probably. Unless you're very patient.
Oh, I am not. npm start.
Okay. Are you tired, Vadim, from all these
No,
days
no,
of
not
coding?
tired. I'm a bit stressed because after the live stream, I have to join office hours of AWS Amplify. And yeah, I'm going to have a talk there. So thinking how to manage everything and at the same time not to rush everything, because I don't want to rush these features because these are quite complicated, as you see.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm thinking right now like how to properly do it. So let's see order here. It's still loading. That means that something is not working properly. Reference error, cannot find variable user. Where did we do that? Probably I know where. In the order context, when we have here user and order dish, we need to import it. User and order dish. Order dish. Now, okay, let's go. Let's. So let's see if it at least fetches.
Something
No,
didn't work.
again, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Set order is not a function. Set order is not a function. Set order fetched orders. Okay. In also context, set order. Oh, state. Wait a second.
Oh, good catch.
Bad. Should be square brackets. Again. Here, no information, but in here, attempting to assign to read-only property. You know why? Because this
of
fetched
fetch. Yeah.
order is read-only.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And we thought that's such a great idea.
Yeah. Look what we're gonna do. We don't have an option, but to get back to what we had before with user and set user. Yeah, please. And dishes, set dishes. We will, however, export it interestingly. So user. Here, we're gonna do set user ID. Then here, let me do it with then because it looks better. Set user. Here, after we do this, we then set dishes.
And do the same for orders. For order, I mean.
Again, we're gonna refactor that file. Set order. But yeah, like this is what it takes to until you get to a solution that you actually are happy with. And
Yeah,
actually,
especially when this is a very complex situation.
so for that reason, we will have to export the order,
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking to put them into an object.
All of them? Then there wouldn't be so many, like, but yeah, still we would need to adjust. Maybe
No,
that makes
let's
sense.
add
I
them
don't know.
separately. User and dishes. Okay, back here. Again, we are gonna refactor the things with the user and so on. So besides the user, the order from the order context, we're gonna get user and we're gonna get the dishes. And let's search again, dot user. We're gonna remove the order before it. As simple as that. Okay, like this. Okay, that's everything about the user and the dishes as well. So it's actually not in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Now let's have a look. Open it here. Coordinate of a view managed by air map marker latitude. Okay, user for the marker of a user. I was trying to render it before the user was fetched. So if user thank you.
Some refreshment coffee.
Yes. So if I go here, again, possible unhandled exception, can find variable fetched orders.
Most likely in context.
Fetched orders.
You can control Z to that.
No,
No,
I'm
you
not gonna
cannot.
do it. I'm gonna do it like this. Const
Yeah.
fetched order equal await and without the then, because we need this fetched order that I wrote incorrectly. We need it fetched order here in order not to have to add one more user factor or something like that. Now if we go here, will we see it?
Something is still not.
Still
Nothing.
not.
So something we are missing. Something that's why.
Oh, we are not setting it in state.
Oh yeah.
Set order fetched order. Finally, it works. I'm pretty sure. Please.
Mm-hmm. Try to reload everything because you were like crashing a lot of times. So let's see.
Completely or like this?
Like this.
Okay, I got the joke that you understood, but I didn't mean it. I said like to restart completely.
Oh, okay, loading. Perfect. Something is happening. Hopefully. Yeah.
Okay, here we have it. Let's go here. And it works. Back to normal. And we can accept the order. But let me think what are the next steps after accepting the order. we accept the order. We don't need to send the order here because we know the
Yeah.
order in the state. So I'm going to remove it from here. And in the index, when we call accept order, set accepted order, I'm going to remove it from here. And the next step for us is going to be accept order. What's happening? Accept order. And then we set it there. Look, the next step is we are going to move from order statuses to working with the actual order.status. So let's remove it from here, or at least comment it out for now, because we know what might happen. We don't need these order statuses. And whenever we have delivery status, let's check delivery status. So if delivery status is equal to, that means that we need to check if, look, I'm going to duplicate this line and I'm going to copy the previous one. Now we need to check if order.status is equal to ready for pickup is equal to, but it should be safely accessed, ready for pickup.
Yay, Sakosava, $2, donation.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank you
very
very much.
much. Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, we don't need to set the delivery status. And here as well, we need to move from this one to order.status. Order should be here. So I
If
don't,
I'm not mistaken, Sakosava is here from day one. So that's dedication.
yeah,
I know a few people are still here as well, but he's also active in the chat, and so that's very nice.
is accepted, and we don't need to do anything here. And the same if statement here, we need to do it like order.status is equal to what?
Picked up, I think.
Up.
Yeah.
And here
Wait,
yeah,
but
what?
if order status is picked up, yes, then I think you've completed.
Okay, so let's do the same for our render button title. If order.status is equal to basically this string ready for pickup, if order.status is equal to accepted, and if order.status is equal to picked up. Okay.
And
So
last, well, not the last.
button disabled, order.status. It's very easy to do this thing because we use the same names yesterday as we used in the database. So order.status accepted, order.status picked up.
And check other places because I'm sure we do use it there.
Here, map view the destination, delivery status. Let's simply do order.status, order statuses. Accepted.
Yeah, so if it's accepted, we need to deliver it to restaurant first, and then if it's something else, then delivery location.
Okay. What else? Delivery status, order dot status, like this.
Yeah, but now if it changes again, then you can go back again. That's the issue that one viewer said. So we need to check if it's something else than accepted. Where is that place?
For the back button?
Yes, only show it when it's in accepted state.
Where is that
It's I think up
here?
Yeah, here.
If it's other something else than accepted,
Then we shouldn't show it.
then
If we should show it only when it's yeah, so it was
no,
correct. Why
it was
he was
okay.
saying
Only
yeah,
when it's
we
ready
should
for
show.
pickup.
So maybe that's not what
But
he meant.
no, like the problem there is like not with the icon, it's with the physical back button.
Oh, in Android, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, whoa, a lot of comments came.
Yeah.
First of all, hey guys, can you tell me what VS Code theme are you using? So Vadim has a video on that, and maybe Olatunda can even send a link to that video. And also Vadim shows like what plugins he's using and stuff. So it's very nice. Rogelio saying, this is amazing. Man, I'm learning so much. You guys are legends. Thank you very much. And yeah, I'm very happy that you're learning.
Let's have a look at if everything works here. So at least we should see accept order, and if we press, we should actually accept the order, and set active order can find variable, because in accept order we need to call set order. Okay, let's do again. Here, let's accept the order, and it works. So now if we will move there, the next function is going to be which one? In the on press, for example, on press here. So I'm gonna delete these comments. So this one is accept order. If order status is accepted, we should pick up order. And if it's picked up, let's do await complete order. Is this function async? We need to make it async, and we need to implement the pickup and complete order in the order context. Let's first import it, and I'm going to do complete order and pick up order. Let's go in the order context, and the same thing as we have for accept order, let's add for the pick up order and for the complete order. For the pickup order, what we need, we simply need to change the status to complete. We don't need that one.
Isn't it completed?
Completed.
I think, I'm not exactly sure.
We'll see. For example, yeah, completed, picked up. Completed, picked up, and accepted. Okay, and here it should be complete order. No, here picked up, and here completed. And we should simply export this pickup order and the complete order. So now I'm going to have to play with the, for example, let's take this order and set that it is ready for pickup. Save.
I don't think you have enough time for everything.
Yes. Let's just see if things that we implemented right now works.
Yeah. So Juan is asking, while it's loading, I'm going to quickly answer. I'm assuming we're not going to deal with any non-standard deliveries, like if a delivery couldn't be made and the food is taken back to the restaurant. Probably no, that's a very most likely an edge case. So even if you're a courier and you are delivered the package, no one could take it. You're just gonna leave it like there under the
There might
doorstep.
be scenarios like to cancel an order or something like this,
Yeah.
but I don't want to get into that details. Maybe later. I don't know.
Yeah, these are very edge cases, not the main flow. So for now,
Yeah.
Then also Mark said that we could use make the code drier by moving those like checks is order accepted.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good idea and that makes sense. Maybe
So
we'll
let's go
implement
ahead
it
and
later.
accept this order. I'm going to accept it. And now we need to change our location to how to change it? No. Wait a second.
James is asking what will happen to the features that are still missing that we planned for today. Don't worry, we will definitely finish them, most likely tomorrow, but we'll check when. But it's going to be finished for sure.
Should I just move it like this?
You're gonna try it like that?
I don't know. I am there, and let's zoom in. No, it's not. It's not gonna work like this.
It's almost impossible to, like near the border, completely near the border. You know where? Where is Kantamir? I think no. Oh no,
Set
where is
location.
Sarata
So we are very close.
Yeah.
We need a bit down here.
I think even more.
Oh, it's after
this one, Sareta Razgezi, the city. I'm not. Yeah, this one.
We're getting there.
3 kilometers still. What? I thought Moldova is not that big.
So it's here.
Yeah, I think it's exactly here.
So now we are almost there. We're still not there.
Yeah, we need to be in. I think we should have changed. Like, oh my god.
We should have changed how
to like 500 meters.
Now that we are close to the restaurant, we can say pick up order, and we automatically are redirected to delivery to the user. Come on. To the user, and our user is here.
Juan is asking, is there a limit to the amount of people that can join the full stack mobile developer course? I'm on the waitlist, so wondering how's that going to work. I don't think there's a limit.
There is only the time limit. Like,
time limit, yeah.
Yeah.
1 week after the launch. Yeah, is it right? Is it correct?
What?
Yeah, 1 week after the launch.
The doors will be open for 1 week.
And after that, it's gone. So
yeah,
grab it, guys.
Okay, it's somewhere here. It's somewhere here.
Yeah,
bro.
it's near Via Dini. We need to cross the border.
We are very close, 4 kilometers. We need more precision.
5 minutes. Near this sign, like 2004. I think the closer sign. Yeah, the one above. Oh my god. We need to be a little bit closer.
Down?
Yes.
Yes, and we are there. We can complete the delivery. We are back to our orders, but now we don't see that order. And if we look in our Amplify Studio, our order should be completed. If I call that function correctly. Come on.
You really need to go.
It's not accepted, but I'm gonna check it. But look, guys, so the problem is that I have to talk in 3 minutes at AWS Amplify. So if you would like, please join us on Discord on Amplify server. Maybe someone from our team can paste the link there so we can continue our discussion there. But what's regarding our project. We're not stopping here. We are going to continue tomorrow, and we're gonna make sure to polish all the features that we have started today, and make sure that all these applications are working properly. Actually, I think this is a very good opportunity for us, because even if we would still go today, we would not manage to implement all the features that I have in my mind. And here I'm talking about features specifically on synchronizing data, like real-time database, real-time data synchronization between the user application and the driver application, so that we can see the user in the user application, we can see the driver moving on the map. Like, this is the part that I'm mostly excited about. I really want to have, like, me and Lucas two phones. I would be the user, and Lucas would pick up my order, will change his place, and I can see right away on my phone how these things happen. I think you
Maybe even
also
in
are.
real life.
Yes, I think that you are also interested in this, but for that we need a bit more time. So tomorrow we will have this opportunity to go into depth into finishing up these two applications. And regarding the dashboard, we are going to come with the dashboard in the following weeks, definitely. So everything that we promised will be there. Let's continue our discussion on the Amplify Discord channel. We have their office hours, and also check out the course, because it's coming very, very soon. It's coming up next Monday, and you can join it starting from the next Monday, and start working towards becoming a full stack mobile developer. I haven't done the outro so fast in very long time, but thank you very much for watching till now, and I will see you tomorrow.
Bye,
Thank you,
guys.
Lucas, for being here.
Yeah, always. Thank you guys
Okay,
for being here as well.
see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.
Bye.